Hey class, it is Mrs. Gilling here, and we are about to do your Unit 1 video assignment all about focus notes. See if I'm excited, you'll be excited. Focus notes, yeah! All right, let's learn about focus notes. But before we do, I do have a treat for you. If you're not familiar with this, it is called the joke of the unit. Okay, what kind of music did the Pilgrims like? Answer, Plymouth Rock. Da, 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 da. No? Not funny? It's funny. Come on, guys. It's funny. All right. Well, if you didn't think that was funny, at least you can learn about focus notes. So first of all, why are focus notes important? Come on, Mrs. Gilling. Why are they important? Let me tell you. First of all, they are required. You get a grade for them. So that's number one reason why they're important. But they're only required in lessons 1, 6, 11, and 16. So there's only 4 of them that you have to turn in. But I have created them for every single lesson that has a checkpoint because they will help you find and understand the information you need for the checkpoints. The checkpoints in the U.S. history courses are kind of hard, and so I wanted to help you with them. And so I've broken them down into every question that's on these focus notes will help you with the test or with the checkpoint, excuse me. And they'll tell you where to find the answer to it. So they'll say like workbook 1.1, and then you go to that workbook, look at the information before, and it's going to be in there. So you know where to find it. They are honestly an awesome tool. So even though they're only required in those lessons I talked about, I really encourage you to use them for every single checkpoint because it's going to help you out a ton. I promise that they will be helpful to you. So that's another one reason why they're important is they'll help you, and you can use them on your checkpoints. So you don't have to just like do them and put them away. Like you can literally be on your checkpoint with your notes answering. I don't care. Use them. It still shows me that you learned. So I really, really encourage you to use those focus notes. They also help you process what you're learning. I know I'm guilty of this. I'll be reading and I'll read like 5 pages and then I'll be like, I have no idea what I just read. I wasn't paying any attention. Totally guilty of that. These notes help you slow down and ask yourself, what am I reading? Why is this important? How does this apply to me? And on top of that, they are worth 15% of your grade. So pretty important to do the focus notes. So let me give you some focus notes instructions. And this will cover a couple slides. So this is what the focus note sheets are going to look like. You're going to start off by putting your name and date just so when you turn it in, I know you'll turn it in electronically, but sometimes it's still helpful to have that and helps you keep track. Write the topic and objective. So that's pretty much just, lesson 2 and whatever it is you're learning about in that lesson. Then write the essential question. The essential question, you can usually find something like that in the introduction of each lesson. It's going to tell you the things that you're going to learn, the objectives. What you do is take those objectives and you turn them into questions. You don't need to have a million questions. Have at least one, but you can have more if you want to have more. But you take those objectives and you turn them into a question. So, for instance, if the objective was students will understand about the Columbian Exchange, your essential question could be, what is the Columbian Exchange? So it's important there. That's an important part to it, and that's a great part. So make sure you're putting the essential question. I have filled in the left for you. This is the cues section, and these are the questions that are on the checkpoints. They may be worded a bit differently, but this is the checkpoint information, and I have it all broken down. So, for instance, this is going to help you on the lesson 1 checkpoint. And it says workbook 1.1, and then it tells you the questions, and that's where you're going to find them. And they're in order. I worked really hard to get everything to be in order. So they're all in order, and then there'll be more. It'll be like workbook 1.2 that follows it. And so your job is to answer these questions in the notes section here. So what disadvantages did American Indians experience in their trading with Europeans? While you're reading, you come across that, you fill that in. Pretty straightforward there. So that's this first part. Here's the next part. After you've completed all of the notes, you're going to do the processing step. Now, a lot of people like to skip this, but it's really important, so don't skip it. So for the processing step, you have 3 options. You don't have to do each of these 3 things. You pick one of them. If you want to do them all, you can, but pick at least one. So first, read over your notes and highlight vocab words or any words that stick out to you, because some of them don't have vocab words in them. So highlight the vocab words or any words that stick out. I need to see at least 3 things highlighted. So 3 vocab words or 3 things that stuck out. The other option is to underline interesting information. So if there's something interesting in your notes, underline it. If you choose that step, make sure you underline at least 3 statements. The third option are to include pictures next to your notes that will help you remember the information. So if you choose to, find pictures to put next to them, make sure you're including at least 3 pictures, right? 3 is the magic number here. After you've done the processing step, you need to write a summary. Now, there's 2 questions I need you to answer in the summary, and I want you to use complete sentences. The first is, it's not really a question, I guess it's more of a statement, but explain what these notes were about. So in at least one sentence, let me know what were these notes about. And then for number 2, answer the essential question. So for instance, at the beginning, if the essential question was, what is the Columbian Exchange? Down there, you'll say the Columbian Exchange was, and answer it based on what you learned. The last thing you're going to do is make a connection to your world. So you're going to say in at least one complete sentence, how does something you learned in the lesson apply to the world we live in today? What does it mean? Why is it important? How does it mean anything to me? The cool thing about history is history does relate to us. And that's why we study it, right? So that we can see what happened in the past and how it applies to us today. So make that connection. So how will they be graded? Well, the essential question is worth 10 points. So don't skip that. That's the thing we talked about in the beginning where you're putting the objective in a question form. The notes that you take is the bulk of it. That's worth 60 points. So make sure you're being thorough in those. The summary is worth 10 points. The connection's worth 10 points. And that processing step where you're either including pictures or underlining or highlighting, that is also worth 10 points. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. I don't want this to be a stressful assignment, but it is a worthwhile one. There's a huge benefit to you completing these assignments. So if you run any questions at all, please let me know. Other than that, good luck on them, and you guys have a great day.